Did you know there's a rideshare driver in Chicago who's been running the same Camry for 11 years, already hit 373,000 miles on the original engine, and still burns 25% less fuel than his buddies driving identical cars, in the same city, stuck in the same brutal rush hour traffic on the Dan Ryan? I had to know his secret, and when he told me, I realized the problem was never the car. The problem is you. I've spent nearly 2 decades analyzing vehicles, pulling apart engines, reading inspection reports, and listening to drivers complain that their car drinks too much gas. Civic, Corolla, F-150, Silverado, RAV4, Explorer, Tacoma, doesn't matter the make, doesn't matter the model year. What I saw repeated across every single one of them was the same thing. The engine isn't the problem, the driver is. And the worst part? You're throwing money away every single time you fill up, and you don't even realize it. Gas prices across the U.S. have already blown past $3.50 a gallon in most states, hitting over $4 in places like California. The average driver putting 15,000 miles a year on a Civic or a Corolla is spending between $2,000 and $3,000 on fuel alone. Studies from the U.S. Department of Energy show that up to 30% of that can be saved, without touching the engine, without going to the shop, without replacing a single part. That's literally $600 to $900 a year leaking right out your tailpipe because of 7 habits you probably have without even knowing it. In this video, I'm going to show you the 7 habits that make any car, from a base model Civic all the way up to a loaded Expedition, burn up to 30% less fuel, without spending a dime, without popping the hood. No snake oil, no gimmicks. Stick around for habit number 1 because it saves the most money and it's exactly what the fewest people actually do. And spoiler, it's not what you're thinking. If you don't want to keep flushing cash down the drain every time you pull into a gas station, hit that like button right now and subscribe to the channel, because what's coming next is going to change the way you drive forever. Number 7, the cold start habit that's draining your wallet. Let me ask you a quick question. When you start your car in the morning, what do? If you answered, I just take off right away, or I let it warm up for a few minutes sitting in the driveway, congratulations. You're doing it wrong on both ends. And either way, you're paying for it. Here's what's happening inside that engine when you fire it up cold. The oil is thick. Think maple syrup that's been sitting in the garage overnight in February. The fuel injection system detects that and dumps 20 to 30% extra fuel into the engine to compensate for the low temperature. It's like the engine waking up with a hangover. It needs more just to get going. If you gun it right out of the driveway, that extra fuel burn lasts longer because the engine takes more time to reach operating temperature. If you just sit there warming it up for 5 or 10 minutes, you're literally burning gasoline to go absolutely nowhere. That's money turning into exhaust smoke while you're standing there drinking your coffee. The fix is simple, but it's got to be specific. Start the car, wait 30 seconds, just 30, and then pull out easy for the first 2 to 3 miles. It's gentle movement that warms the engine up faster, not sitting in park staring at the garage wall. You know how much fuel a 4-cylinder engine wastes sitting there warming up for 10 minutes every morning? Over the course of a year, that's more than 18 gallons of gas gone without moving an inch. At today's prices, that's over $65 evaporating in your driveway. Every single year. 30 seconds at idle. 2 to 3 miles easy. After that, the engine's up to temp and you drive like normal. Do me a favor and drop a comment down below. What city and state are you in? And tell me this too. Where do you usually fill up? Shell, Chevron, QT, Casey's? What are you driving and what kind of mileage are you actually getting, around town and out on the highway? I'm genuinely curious to see how much fuel economy varies by region across the country, because it swings more than most people expect. Number 6, the tire pressure everybody thinks is right and isn't. Here's a stat that's going to tick you off. More than 80% of American drivers are riding around with at least one tire inflated wrong. Not out of laziness, but because the car itself is misleading them. You know that little tire pressure light on your dash? The TPMS warning light? That thing only kicks on after the tire has already lost 25% of the recommended pressure. Meaning if your tire is supposed to be at 32 psi, the light doesn't come on until you're already down to 24 psi. You think everything's fine. The dash agrees with you, and you're both wrong. And the silent damage is already happening. The U.S. Department of Energy has confirmed it. For every 1 psi low across all 4 tires, your fuel economy drops 0.2%. Sounds small? By the time that warning light finally decides to tell you something, you've already lost 1.6% efficiency. Over a year of driving like that, that's more than 4 gallons of gas you paid for without going a single extra mile. At today's prices, that's over $15 straight in the trash, just because you trusted a dashboard light that was engineered to lie to you. And here's the detail nobody ever tells you. The number molded into the sidewall of your tire is not the recommended pressure. That's the maximum pressure. The correct number is on the sticker inside your driver's door jamb, that little label you've probably never looked at in your life. Check your tire pressure with the tires cold once a month using the number from the door jamb, not the sidewall, and not whatever the gas station attendant guesses off the top of his head. Number 5. The air filter that's quietly strangling your engine. 3 months ago, a guy came to me complaining that his F-150 was drinking more gas than it used to. Truck started fine, no weird noises, no warning lights, transmission was smooth. Nothing looked wrong on the surface. I popped the hood. The air filter was black. Not dark, black. Clogged solid with dust, debris, and years of built-up gunk. When I asked him when it had last been replaced, he looked at me with the face of a man who had never even known that filter existed. The truck had 55,000 miles on it. Here's what's happening inside when a filter is packed like that. The engine's control module reads the incoming airflow and adjusts the amount of fuel being injected accordingly. When the filter is blocked, less air gets through than the engine expects. The system compensates by dumping in more fuel to keep the mixture right. The result? The engine burns more gas to put out the same power it always did. And it's working harder just to pull air through that clogged filter, which pushes consumption even higher. You know what a new air filter costs? Between $15 and $50 depending on your vehicle. Swap takes 5 minutes and you don't need a single tool. The fuel economy improvement documented on engines with severe air restriction hits up to 10% according to the EPA itself. In that F-150's case, after the swap, fuel economy jumped nearly 3 miles per gallon. Over a year of driving, that dirty filter was costing him over $400 in unnecessary gas. For a part under $30 that anybody can change in their own driveway. If you can't remember the last time you replaced your air filter, it's already past due. Number 4. The technique the world's best drivers use and you never learned. There's a massive difference between the driver who's spending an extra $200 a month on gas and the one spending $200 less. That difference isn't in the car, it's in the eyes. Researchers at MIT measured the impact of driving style on fuel consumption, and the results were brutal for anyone who drives the way most Americans do on a bad day. Hard acceleration, last-second braking, constant lane changes like the highway is a video game. That kind of behavior raises fuel consumption between 15% and 40% depending on traffic conditions. It's like throwing money out the window while you're cutting somebody off. The technique is called active anticipation, and it works like this. When you see a red light 600 feet ahead, you don't wait until you're close to brake. You lift off the gas right then and let the car coast in. And here's the part most people don't know. In modern fuel-injected vehicles, Civic, Camry, F-150, Silverado, any of them, when you lift off the throttle at cruising speed, the system cuts or drastically reduces fuel injection. The car keeps moving forward, burning almost nothing. You're literally riding for free for a few seconds. The same principle applies to curves, downhill stretches, and any situation where you can already see traffic backing up ahead of you. A driver who applies active anticipation consistently cuts fuel consumption between 10% and 20% without changing a single thing on the car. In city driving, this is especially valuable because traffic is a soap opera, full of dramatic stops, unexpected reversals, and characters who give you zero warning before they hit the brakes. Number 3. Your air conditioning is playing you and you're letting it. You know that classic argument that breaks out in the car every summer? Shut the AC off, it kills your mileage. Just roll the windows down. Yeah, everybody's got an opinion. And almost everybody is wrong about half the time. The US Department of Energy actually measured the impact of air conditioning versus open windows at different speeds, and the results go against what most people believe. At speeds below 40 miles per hour, meaning city traffic, lunchtime gridlock, stop and go through downtown, rolling the windows down and shutting the AC off genuinely does save fuel. The AC compressor puts a load on the engine, and at low speeds that load costs more than the wind resistance from open windows. But at speeds above 50 miles per hour, out on the interstate, on a highway stretch, anywhere you're moving freely, the equation flips completely. With the windows down, your car turns into a parachute. The aerodynamic drag starts burning more fuel than running the air conditioning would. Meaning, you shut the AC off, rolled the windows down, figured you were saving money, and you were actually spending more. In compact sedans like a Camry, Malibu, or Accord cruising at highway speed, the AC running costs less than open windows. That's not a guess, that's physics. And there's a button almost nobody uses that can save you between 3 and 5% on every long trip. The recirculation button. You know that little circular arrow symbol on your AC panel? When you don't hit that button, the system is constantly pulling hot air from outside and burning extra energy to cool it down over and over. With recirculation on, it's cooling the air that's already inside the cabin, air that's already cold, and working a whole lot less to do it. The rule is simple. Slow city traffic, windows down. Highway or steady speed, AC on with recirculation activated. That's it. Nobody told you that. Now you know. Number 2. The oil that's raising your fuel costs without making a single sound. This is the habit that gets the most pushback when I explain it, because it goes against everything most people were ever taught about car maintenance. Oil viscosity directly affects how much fuel your car burns. Thicker oil creates more friction between engine components. The engine has to work harder to overcome that friction. And to work harder, it burns more gas. Simple as that. In a lot of shops across the country, whether out of habit or because the mechanic never cracked open the owner's manual, guys are still running 5W30 or even 10W30 in engines that the manufacturer clearly specified for 0W20 full synthetic. The difference in fuel consumption between those viscosities, measured under controlled conditions by the automotive industry, reaches 2.4%. For a driver putting 15,000 miles a year on his car, that's between 6 and 9 gallons of gas wasted every single year just from running the wrong oil. And the right number isn't what your mechanic tells you. It's not on the parts store flyer. It's stamped right on top of the engine, literally on the oil filler cap. If it says 0W20, run 0W20 full synthetic. If it says 5W20, run exactly that. Switching to the correct oil doesn't hurt anything. Quite the opposite. Thinner oil circulates faster in the first seconds after startup, which is exactly when 80% of internal engine wear occurs. You spend less, protect more, and leave your mechanic without a leg to stand on. Number 1. The gas station habit that's destroying your fuel pump and your wallet at the same time. We've made it to number 1, the favorite of the rideshare driver who inspired this whole video. The habit that looks like a small detail, but separates the guys who actually take care of their cars from the ones who just pray they don't break down on the interstate. Almost every driver does one of two things with their tank. Either they let it run all the way down to the warning light before filling up, or they top it off until it overflows, squeeze in 2 more clicks after the pump shuts off, and figure they did their car a favor. Both are wrong. And the second one is worse than you think. Your car's fuel pump sits inside the tank, submerged in gasoline. It uses the fuel itself to stay cool and lubricated. When you're constantly riding on fumes, that pump is exposed to heat, running dry. The wear accelerates fast. Drivers who live in the red consistently see fuel pump life drop 30 to 40% compared to guys who keep the tank between 1/4 and 3/4 full. A replacement fuel pump on a Civic, Camry, or F-150 runs anywhere from $400 to $1,200 in parts alone, before labor. All of that because you didn't want to stop at the gas station a little sooner. But overfilling carries a consequence almost nobody knows about. Modern vehicles have a system called EVAP, the Evaporative Emission Control System. It captures fuel vapors and has a charcoal canister that needs empty headspace in the tank to function properly. When you force liquid fuel in after the pump clicks off, that canister gets saturated. The system gets contaminated. The ECU logs an emissions fault and lights up that check engine light you're going to ignore for 3 weeks before you finally drag it into the shop. Diagnosing and repairing a contaminated EVAP system can run anywhere from $200 to $1,000 because of 2 extra clicks of gas you didn't need. The rule is straightforward. Fill up when you hit 1/4 tank. Stop when the pump clicks off the first time. No extra squeezes, no topping off. That one habit alone protects the pump, protects the EVAP system, and reduces the weight you're hauling around. A full tank in an SUV like an Explorer or a Tahoe weighs up to 90 pounds more than a half tank. The U.S. Department of Energy estimates that every extra 100 pounds reduces fuel efficiency by up to 2%. You're literally paying to carry weight you don't need. The rideshare driver I mentioned at the top doesn't have a special car, doesn't run premium fuel, hasn't touched the engine with a single modification. He's got 7 habits he picked up over time. Habits that every gas station in America is rooting for you to never find out about, because the more you burn, the more they earn. Your car's fuel economy isn't controlled by the engine, it's controlled by you. Each one of these 7 habits targets a different variable: the cold start, tire pressure, the air filter, anticipation in traffic, the air conditioning, oil viscosity, and fuel level. Individually, each one already makes a difference. Together, the impact stacks up, and that's when the numbers get real serious. Saving 20% to 30% on fuel isn't a gas station ad or a car salesman's pitch. It's math, documented by the U.S. Department of Energy, confirmed by the EPA, and backed up by years of watching engines in the real world burn twice what they should. Not because of a defect, because of the driver's habits. The money you save on gas doesn't show up the moment you swipe your card at the pump. It shows up in every mile you drive differently, in every time you coast to a stop instead of charging in hard on the brakes, in every cold start where you don't let the engine sit idling for 10 minutes in the driveway, in every tank you don't squeeze past the first click. It's pennies that become dollars, dollars that become hundreds, and hundreds that by the end of the year can pay for your registration renewal, a full service, or just stay in your pocket instead of going into theirs. If this video made sense to you, share it with that buddy who never stops complaining his truck drinks too much gas, but keeps doing everything exactly the same way. Hit the like button. It genuinely helps this channel grow and keep bringing you the kind of content the industry would rather you never came across. Subscribe too so you don't miss the next video, where I'll show you more ways to protect your vehicle and make it last a whole lot longer than average, without having to spend a fortune to do it.